e.l.f. Cosmetics must be stopped. I'm just kidding, but they have been putting out so many new products that it's been crazy trying to keep up with them. I was on their new releases page on their website, and half the products I'm like, when did this come out? Totally missed this. So in this video, I'll be testing their brand new Soft Glam Satin Foundation along with a handful of other products. Let's get straight into it. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. This channel is dedicated to budget beauty. If that sounds like your vibe, hit subscribe. First things first, I'm gonna prime my face using their Sun Touchable Invisible Sunscreen. Now this is actually the clear version. This is not the glowy version. This is $14. This one definitely does not get talked about as much. This one has more of like a dimethicone primer type texture. I've actually had this in my drawer for a while, but I haven't had the chance to test it on a full face of makeup. This one smells different than the glowy version. It smells like licorice. I like the scent. It's definitely different than smelling just like sunscreen, but I don't know if everyone's gonna like it. So this is SPF 35. It is water resistant. This is like my sunscreen of the day. I didn't put on any sunscreen underneath. I just put on a regular moisturizer. Okay, we're already getting into the product that y'all are probably the most interested in, their new Soft Glam Foundation. This is $8. They are supposed to be medium to buildable coverage. They have 1% hydrating hibiscus complex, and it's supposed to be long lasting for all skin types. It's also breathable and won't clog pores. Now, I actually bought mine on Amazon. I was really surprised. Most of these products, everything except the sunscreen, I bought on Amazon, and I got it the next day. So I was really excited that e.l.f. has been putting their new releases on Amazon and their Prime. So I will leave all the Amazon links in the description, just in case that's more convenient for you as well. So I did get 2 shades because I bought them online. I got 21 Light Neutral and 22 Light Warm. I went by their swatches and their color chart, but I'm nervous. I saw a friend of mine, Allie Dawson, you may know her here on YouTube. She was wearing Light Neutral and she's much lighter than I am. So we may have to mix them and we'll see if we can make them work. But these, like I said, are $8. They are supposed to be medium to buildable coverage. They have 1% hydrating hibiscus complex, and it's supposed to be long lasting for all skin types. It's also breathable and won't clog pores. I think I want to go in with Light Neutral first, just because I'm afraid that Light Warm is going to be too warm, but I'm afraid Light Neutral is going to be too light. So we will see. Okay, we're just gonna send it. Oh, wow. I'm getting way more coverage than I expected because they call this a medium buildable coverage foundation, and I feel like a little went a long way. Yeah, I feel like I could have used that amount on way more than just this cheek. Okay, wait, is this shade oxidizing? I feel like this shade is oxidizing, but in my favor. It looks darker than when we first applied it. Hold on. I'm gonna apply more just to compare. Oh yeah, definitely some oxidation going on. So this particular shade is drying down a little bit more pink than it first comes out of the tube, but luckily not too pink on my skin tone because it is one of the neutral ones. Yeah, this is a pretty decent shade match. Okay, so we're coming up on one layer of this foundation, and I definitely feel like it's medium full. I feel like they sold themselves short just calling it medium, because everything that I really wanted covered is practically covered. I mean, we have this dark spot that's been there for a few videos now. That's peeking out just a bit, but I mean, this would be perfect everyday coverage. I'm definitely more of a fan of a satin finish versus like dewy or matte. I love that in between where it looks like real healthy skin, and this is for sure giving that. It feels good and flexible on the skin. Let's see how much this can build up just a little bit more over my darker spots, because at this point I really don't feel like I would need concealer on top of this. Okay, but my question is, how did this also match Allie Dawson? Allie, have you gotten more tan since the last time I saw you? That Florida sun, it can be strong. I feel like we got the slightest bit more coverage, but it definitely topped out at medium full, which I'm fine with. I still feel like it over-delivered on the claim, but I am anxious to see how it holds up throughout the day. It's supposed to be 103 here in Vegas. Also, they don't advertise this, but I'm checking the ingredients on the e.l.f. website, and I'm not seeing any fragrance or perfume, which I'm super happy about. I am seeing a lot of silicone though. Silicone is not really an issue for me, but I know it is for other people, so just thought I'd mention that. e.l.f. does have a new brow lamination product that I could not get my hands on, unfortunately, but I'm definitely gonna keep my eyes out for that. Before we move on, I do wanna zoom you in so you can see this foundation a little bit more up close. Like I said, this is a pretty silicone heavy formula, and it is really smoothing out a lot of my texture. It looks very even on the face. It has blurred my pores for sure. I am hoping that it can stay out of my fine lines. We will see. This next product is definitely one of those that I saw on their website and just had no idea that it was released. This is their new Lock It Down eyeshadow primer. This is $7, and so I'm assuming it's a step up from their old basic eyeshadow primer, which was my holy grail for years. This is supposed to be sheer, non-greasy, long-lasting, while also enhancing the intensity of your shadow. This looks very similar to their old $1 primer for sure. I'm curious how much has actually changed. This feels exactly like their $1 primer. Actually, now that I'm blending it out, I take that back. It kind of feels wetter. It's definitely a thinner formula than say like the Milani shadow primer, but it's drying down pretty quickly. It's got a bit of tackiness to it, so I don't know, let's try an eyeshadow over it. So on top of this primer today, I'm gonna be putting on one of my Moira Chroma Light shadows. These are $6 multi-chrome shadows that are so beautiful. I do have a coupon code. It is /beauty, and I think it gives you 15% off. This is the shade Summer Dream. Look at that shift. So I'm just gonna put this all over my lid. So pretty. And this will definitely test this eye primer out, because if my eye oils, I don't like that phrase. If my lids get oily, then this shadow will bunch in the creases of my lid, and especially like the shimmer will all collect there. So this will be a pretty decent test shade. These shadows are just like the perfect summer one and dones because they are so glowy and beautiful, but you don't have to like do anything. You can just swipe them on. I will say the first thing I'm noticing is that this primer, I think, is grabbing onto the shadow a lot better than some of my other primers. Usually I do get a little bit of fallout with the shimmer in this shadow, and I'm really not seeing much. Especially when I start layering, I'll get a little bit of the shimmer on my cheek, and it's staying in place. So first test, check. So glowy, love. Next up, we have a new mascara from e.l.f. that I'm really excited to test out. This is the new e.l.f. Lash Extender Mascara, and this is actually a tubing mascara. So this formula basically wraps itself around each of your lashes for a clump-free, flake-free, and smudge-free wear, and it's supposed to give a lash extension look. Best part, it's only $7. Tubing mascaras have been getting more and more popular, especially because you're able to take them off with just warm water. So the comb applicator is silicone. It is slightly tapered, which I like to get into that inner corner. Let me zoom you in so you can see what this mascara is doing. Okay, the separation on this brush is really nice. I didn't feel like I needed to wipe off any excess product. It didn't really come out of the tube with a ton of visible product either, so it's building up in a pretty thin layer, but wow, is this thin layer doing a lot. Whoa. Okay, I'm just layering and layering and layering, and it is not quitting on me. I am risking it all, and I'm still not getting any clumpiness. Okay, I feel like I've reached the max. Let me get my lower lashes. Ooh, this wand is perfect for lower lashes as well. Before, after. I will say, with me building it up so much, I did lose a little bit of my curl. We've drooped just a bit, but I went ham. I mean, I was layering this up, and the length, really impressive. I think there's a really good amount of volume where it's balanced looking, and I'm impressed so far. So I really, really, really hope that this performs well throughout the day. I'm just hoping this works better on me than the Milani tubing mascara, because y'all know I love Milani, but their highly rated tubing mascara just does not work for me. It is super flaky, and I've tried it again more recently to see if my opinion changed on it, and it didn't. Yeah, if you have straight lashes like me, this is definitely going to weigh them down just a bit. So just keep that in mind and try to get a really good curl before you start applying. Just gonna pop on some contour and bronzer. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Contour Palette. Now I know that e.l.f. has a new primer infused bronzer. That was one of the products that I couldn't really find in a shade that I thought would work for me. And in general, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the shades just looked very orangey. I mean, maybe I'll try it in the future and prove myself wrong, but there wasn't a lot about the shade range that excited me and enticed me to want to try it. So I left that one for another day. I did, however, pick up their primer infused blush. I got the shade Always Crushing. So this is $7. They say this is budge free and it's supposed to give a lightweight but buildable matte finish. So this pink stood out to me because it is just this beautiful medium, slightly warm pink. Thought it would be perfect for summer. Oh, pretty. It is going on a little bit sheer at first. I'm not super mad about that though. I do feel like there's been like this battle about who can make the most pigmented powder blush, but then in turn, you end up getting a blush that's a little bit hard to apply because, you know, you put one dot on and you're like, oh my gosh, I have so much to blend out now. So I think there is something to be said about a buildable formula that can be a little more versatile when you want something lighter, but we're still getting a lot of color. I have not dipped back in to the compact. I like it. It's also looking very smooth on top of this foundation and probably partly to do with the primer infused formula. I think it looks really smooth. It blends out evenly. Solid powder blush. A little bit on the nose for that sun-kissed vibe. Gonna add a little bit of powder highlight. This is the Revolution Highlighter Reloaded in Raise the Bar. And to top this look off, I have one of their new lip products. This is their Sun Boss Gloss. This is an SPF lip gloss, which I think is such a great idea. I'm a huge fan of SPF lip balms. I use one from O'Keeffe's, especially here in Vegas. The sun is strong. You need every inch of your face covered. So I love that now I can incorporate more SPF into my makeup. So this is the shade Pink Me Girl. Kind of a neutral mauve-y looking pink. Hold on. Okay, yeah, the site says that they're supposed to be a tropical scent. It's not strong and it's like barely discernible. I just got like a whiff of it. So these are only $7 and they do have vitamin E in them. So you do get a little bit of that nourishment as well on top of the color and shine. I like it. It's definitely neutral enough where I could probably keep this in my purse and even wear it if I don't have any makeup on. It's kind of a Your Lips But Better shade on me. Last but not least, we have the setting spray heard around the world. This is their Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. Now y'all know that the Power Grip Primer is my all-time favorite, but I've heard mixed things about the setting spray, so I'm going into this a little bit nervous, still with high hopes. So this is $10. It contains hyaluronic acid, squalane, aloe, and green tea seed oil. You do have to shake it because there is a water phase and an oil phase. Now, unlike the Power Grip Primer, this is a non-sticky formula and it can be used as a primer as well. Obviously, we didn't do that today. Just using this to set my makeup and I'm only setting half of my face. I really want to test how the foundation and blush wear on their own, but I also want to see if the setting spray can enhance the wear, especially like I said, on a hot day like this. So my method is going to be covering half my face with paper and hoping that I can just isolate this one side. Let's do a test spray. Ooh, that was a really fine mist. Okay. Okay, despite that being a fine mist, I felt like I needed to hold it kind of close to my face. When I was out here, I wasn't feeling it on my face, I was feeling it on my lap. Okay, I think we were able to isolate that pretty well. I'm definitely seeing a little bit more radiance on the side where we used the setting spray. It is supposed to add a dewy finish, but it's not like overly dewy. I'm not looking wet or shiny. I do think it kind of enhanced my highlight a little bit. On my forehead, I definitely see a little bit more radiance on this side, but again, it's not like shiny, greasy, wet. To me, it just looks like it added a little bit more natural glow to the look. Yeah, I definitely see more glow on the cheeks as well. Also, I want to mention I got distracted with the scent, but the lip gloss is not sticky at all. It feels really good on the lips. Okay, well here is our before. I'm gonna wear this around today and I will check back in with you later. If I look exhausted, it's because I am. I just came back from a hot girl walk, and when I say hot girl walk, I mean it was 104 degrees outside. There was not one other single poor soul at the park today. Just me, the neighborhood psychopath. But with that said, we have put this makeup to the test today. I'm definitely still sweating and I wanted to do a transfer test. Okay, this is the unset foundation side. Here's how much foundation came off the unset side while blotting away my sweat. Now, clean side, gonna blot the side where we set with spray. I mean, here's how much foundation came up when blotting the setting spray side. You tell me, does it look like less? Here is the setting spray side. Here is the unset side. Yeah, I think it looks like less. Let's take a close-up look at this makeup. First things first, let's talk about the eye primer. I love it. It held this shadow in place. The shimmer is still very evenly distributed. None of the shadow is bunching in my creases, which is very common, especially toward my inner corner. Still looks intense. The shadow primer is a win for me. Now let's talk about this mascara. It's still looking pretty darn good. I haven't lost any more curl since the initial application, and there's no smudging at all. No smudging, no smearing. Now, one thing that you didn't see before I blotted my face because I didn't think about it is I did have a few mascara flakes hanging out on my cheek all day that I purposely left alone so I could show you. And then I just blotted it away. But I got like 3 noticeable flecks under this eye about midday, and then after that, nothing more. So it may have just been like the tippy top of a few of these lashes where I really layered up the product. I will say it was less flaking than the Milani tubing mascara. So it wasn't horrible. I would definitely give this a second shot and see if I don't layer it up as much and as heavy as I did today, if maybe we get less of that happening. The lip gloss is totally gone. I did not reapply it after I ate. It's a lip gloss. It's going to transfer and come off as the day goes on, but it never felt sticky. It never felt drying. I like the lip gloss, and the SPF is an added bonus. Now let's talk about the face makeup, shall we? All things considered, this foundation held up even on its own. The differences I'm seeing are so small, so subtle, and really I'm nitpicking and looking at a mirror like this. I'm really only seeing a couple things. I am getting a little bit of creasing in my laugh line on the unset side versus the side we used setting spray on. And there's a little more breaking down of the foundation on my nostril where we did not set versus the setting spray side. But I mean, it's so subtle. Throughout the day, I was blowing my nose because of allergies, and I'm seeing makeup missing on both sides, right under my nose. And funny enough, I feel like the coverage looks kind of the same on both sides, which is a compliment to the foundation by itself, maybe not so much a testimonial to the setting spray. I gotta say, I was expecting a little more from the setting spray. I was at least expecting the setting spray to hold on to like maximum coverage, and I can see these dark spots peeking through underneath my foundation. So the setting spray definitely kept the product out of my fine lines, not only my laugh line, but my 11 up here. But yeah, I was just hoping that it would hold on to more coverage. Now this blush looks amazing on both sides, and on both sides of my face, where I put the blush looks the smoothest out of the entire half of my face. And I'm not really seeing any color loss at all, no fading. So I'm kind of in love with this blush, especially coming back in from sweating outside. I thought I would have like product breakdown around like my sideburn area and coming in this way, but I'm not seeing that on either side. I can honestly see this becoming my new everyday foundation, and it didn't feel dry on the skin. It stayed feeling flexible. Also, I don't really feel like I look oily on the side where I didn't set the makeup. So let me know what is on your shopping list from e.l.f.'s new releases. I know there are a few that we left out, and if you've tried something that I didn't in this video, let me know if it's even worth picking up in the comments. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. If you want to keep watching, join me over in this video next where I try the Profusion Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collab. Cowabunga is all I have to say. I'll see you over there. Bye!